Hello everyone, I'm Zabi Barnes, seashell yogi, mystic, shaman, and alchemy teacher. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the seventh layer of the aura, the outermost layer, which is also our most spiritual layer of the aura. It is called the Ketheric layer, K-E-T-H-E-R-I-C. The Ketheric layer of the aura, and it is fed by the crown chakra. So your crown chakra is the governing chakra for this layer of the aura. The Ketheric subtle body is the subtle body of the big picture, of the oracle, of the prophet, of the visionary. Through this layer, we are able to connect with higher mind and to know how everything in the universe and beyond fits together. Through this layer, we extend our consciousness out through the universe and into the multiverse. This layer of the aura extends between 2.5 and 3.5 feet out from your physical body. So for those of you in other countries, that would be between 75 centimeters and a little bit over a meter out away from your physical body. Our knowledge of universal laws occurs through this layer of the aura. Remember, this is the big picture. And when I say our knowledge of universal laws, I'm not just talking about a cerebral understanding. I'm talking about our ability to connect with each law and live each law through us in a way that has impact on all of creation. Through the Ketheric layer of the aura, this is where our Kundalini resides. The Kundalini is the main power current that runs up and down the spine and nourishes the whole body. And it carries energies to the roots of each chakra and connects the chakra energies to each other. And all of that happens first in the Ketheric body. So as we strengthen our Ketheric body, we are automatically working through all of the layers of the aura, through all of the chakras, through our Kundalini. So here's the thing about working with Kundalini, because there are many ways of raising the Kundalini. You don't want it to happen too fast, too suddenly, because when it happens too fast, then that can cause problems if you have not first strengthened the other layers of the aura. Again, we want to be balanced and strong in all of our layers. So to raise the Kundalini really, really fast without first strengthening your other layers, that can cause you to blow your circuits out. Sometimes I see people with mental illness where this has happened to them, where their Kundalini rose too fast and it created a manic experience. And in cases like that, what needs to happen is that they need to go through a process of strengthening the other layers of the aura to bring them online with what is going on in their Ketheric layer. Through the Ketheric layer of our aura, we are able to connect to a golden network of light that encompasses all of creation. In the Mayan tradition that I have studied in depth, we talk about something called the internet. And before I studied the Mayan tradition, I was shown this golden network of light in my 3-day out-of-body experience, which was a very intense Kundalini experience that occurred spontaneously for me. And what I was shown was this golden network of light that connects everyone and everything. And as we learn how to work with our Ketheric energies, we are able to tap into that network of light and bring connection and healing and uplift, do a lot of planetary service work, uplifting others through this layer of light. It's also where we heal our quantum DNA. All of the quantum DNA work is happening through the Ketheric layer of the aura. So remember, to do that work, you have to first be strong and grounded in all of the other layers. Otherwise, chaos can happen. And I speak from experience when I say that. So you really don't want your Kundalini to rise too fast if you haven't done the strengthening work in the other layers of the aura. Through the Ketheric layer of the aura, we are able to tap into the higher dimensions of consciousness that allow us to transcend time and space. All time happens all at once through the Ketheric layer of the aura. All space is one. It's all here in one place through the Ketheric layer of the aura. So this is where all healing and all change happens here and now. And because it's all happening all here and all now, this is where we hold the records of our soul, so that the deepest soul work happens through the Ketheric layer of the aura. We talked about the soul work that happens through the etheric template, but in this layer, we're tapping into the soul work through all lifetimes, working with the Ketheric energies of our soul. Modalities that support the Ketheric body include Kundalini Yoga, which we've already talked about. That's a kind of a slow way, but it works. Also, any timeline work, soul work, timeline work, past life regression work supports this layer of the aura. And my favorite support for the Ketheric body is in the form of higher dimensional initiations, attunements, activations, and energy transmissions. And this is predominantly what I do in all of my work, is I give these types of higher dimensional initiations. Some people talk about the Ketheric body as being kind of like an energetic eggshell that holds all of the other bodies together, and they talk about it as a protective layer that protects us from outside energies. And so I think I said it in one of the other recordings that my favorite form of protection is strengthening our light, strengthening all of the layers of the aura. And that would include strengthening the Ketheric body, because the stronger the Ketheric body is, the more we are automatically protected without ever having to think about protecting ourselves. Because remember, when we start thinking that we need protection, now we are weakening ourselves. Let me explain that. If I think that I need protection, it means that I'm afraid that I'm not protected. And if I'm coming from a place of fear, I'm automatically coming from a place of weakness. And if I think I need protection, it's another way of me saying that I'm lacking something, that I'm somehow not strong enough and I need to be protected. So I encourage always for all of us to stop thinking about needing protection. And instead, let's keep our focus on strengthening our light and shining it more brightly in the world through every single layer, and especially through the Ketheric layer. But don't do it from a place of fear. Do it by embracing the light, embracing the brilliance that we are. As you embrace your brilliance, automatically you start to strengthen your light, and automatically you are protected. And by stretching your consciousness out through this most spiritual layer of the aura, you're strengthening your light exponentially, which brings exponential protection. Just don't think about it as protection. So now let's look more specifically at some of the things that happen through the chakras in the Ketheric layer of the aura. This is where our actions are on purpose, where we act in alignment with our soul path. It is where synchronicities regularly occur that support our soul path. Through the Ketheric layer of the aura, we experience spiritual relationships. We experience a deepening in our relationships with our guides and angels and ascended masters, and we become more able to co-create with them in more impactful ways. We connect and co-create with our spiritual family here on earth through the Ketheric layer of the aura, and we engage in honorable relationships. Through the Ketheric layer of the aura, we experience a clearly directed soul path, a clearly directed purpose. This is where we live from a place of personal honor and integrity. We trust in divine order. We trust in God. And we communicate spiritual truths through our very way of being, often without even saying anything. Through the Ketheric layer of the aura, we know spiritual truth, and we live from a place of spiritual discernment. We're able to discern what is true and what is false. We can filter out the spiritual BS, and boy, is there a lot of it out there that we need to filter out. Through this layer, we are able to see and know the big picture, to have an expansive perspective on creation and our place within creation. And we become more and more conscious of the higher and ultimately the highest good of all concerned. So I want you to remember to click the PDF below so that you can see chakra by chakra how the Ketheric layer works through your aura. And also remember you have your seashell cards to work with. You can go chakra by chakra at each layer, working with these cards. You can also place them under your pillow and sleep with them, or put them somewhere around your house where you see them throughout the day, and they will automatically start working with you as you set your intention to strengthen the Ketheric layer of your aura. So I hope that you have enjoyed this series, this Subtle Body series. If you have, in fact, hung out with me for all of the videos, and I hope that you have, if you have, then you have all of this information now in your subconscious mind. All of this information is hanging out in each layer of your aura. And I hope that as you were listening, you were taking inventory layer by layer of what you personally would like to strengthen in the coming year. So if you, in fact, have made it through all of the recordings and you took inventory, then all you need to do now is print those cards out and sleep with them under your pillow. And from time to time, you might want to go back and look at the PDF lists that remind you of what happens at each layer through the chakras. And each night before you go to bed, you can set an intention to strengthen a specific aspect of one of your subtle bodies, and the cards will work with you as you are sleeping. And this is something you can do every day as an energetic pick-me-up, as a way to brighten and strengthen all of your energies. Because I want you to remember, the biggest takeaway that I want you to have from this whole series is that you are a dazzling, brilliant, multifaceted, multidimensional being of light. You have many, many ways that you can shine. Most of us are only shining a fraction of what we're capable of doing. And so it's always a good time to set the intention to shine even brighter. We don't need to beat ourselves up for not being as bright as we can be. Please don't do that. That's not the purpose of this series. It is to find, where are you bright and brilliant, and then where would you like to be even more bright and more brilliant? And you get to choose. You have these PDF handouts that guide you chakra by chakra through each layer of the aura. You have the printed cards to play with. And if you want to go deeper, remember that I am offering a complimentary consultation where we can talk about the offerings I have and what would be the best for you based on your specific goals for how you are choosing to shine your light out into the world in 2020 and beyond. So I hope I get to play with you soon. I hope we can shine our light together. And may you have a very blessed, happy, bright, and brilliant new year.